Okay, here it is. The problem with loneliness. The problem with loneliness. Okay, now see, the thing is, apparently there's a problem with loneliness, right? I think it's a good thing to be alone. Me personally, I think it's a good thing to be alone. If you're not doing, if you don't have a plan for the future, and you're not somebody that's very business type, then you should find somebody to be with immediately. Like immediately, like with urgency, right? Like if you don't have a plan or business that you're setting up, find yourself somebody to be with. Get a job, find yourself somebody to be with, marry this person, and everything is gonna be all right. Now, for the rest of the people that want to have a business, that want to be entrepreneurs, that want to pay themselves, be their own boss, stay by yourself. All right. Well, you don't have to stay by yourself, but be happy not being with someone right now. And mostly, I think that you are happy being by yourself. Because the thing is, like I said, like I said before, there's a lot of conspiracies going on around, and there's a lot of buffoonery going on, right? So, like, if you listen to YouTube, YouTube says like, oh well, people like us are lonely and depressed. I'm not lonely and depressed. Not at all, bro. I couldn't be more fucking excited. I couldn't be more excited, bro. Now, because of that, there's a lot of dudes and girls that's gonna try and make you feel like shit, right? Because they're too stupid or too worthless, to go about their business and do what they have to do, right? So they're gonna look at you and they're gonna say, "Oh, he's by himself. He must be lonely." Oh, blah 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 blah. Bro, it's on purpose. Everything is going according to plan. Don't worry about my loneliness. You know what I mean, bro? Don't worry about my loneliness. And you or probably came to that. You probably came into that fact too. You probably understand that little tidbit too. Let me tell you something. If you're an entrepreneur, it's normal for you to be alone right now. Number one, why? Because you ain't got time to waste with people that's trying to waste your time. Period. Right? So of course you're gonna find yourself alone because you don't want to waste your time. Number two, money. It's all about money. If you can't invest in what I'm doing as I am investing in what I'm doing, then what am I doing with you? You know what I mean? There's no reason for me to be with you. Like I said before, I'm a 5%er. I'm not a 1% yet. I'm a 5%er. You might want to hate 5%ers for whatever reason you choose. That's your business. I don't know why you would, but apparently it's a thing. But me, I was a 5%er in my mind state. Me as a 5%er, I do pride myself in paying myself and being able to have a business and run the business. You know what I mean? And the problem is with regular people and people that don't consider themselves 5%ers. I mean, like middle class people that don't want to know nothing, poor people that don't want to know nothing. And mind you, I am being a little bit judgmental, but mind you, the people that I'm specifically targeting by saying this are people that literally do not care about being their own boss. Because there are some poor people that would like to be their own boss. There are some middle class people that would like to be their own boss. So I'm not specifically targeting them. The ones that I'm talking about are the ones that will judge you and mistreat you and call you all kinds of names because you look better than them, you dress better than them, and basically your life is literally better than theirs. Those are the people that I'm talking about, right? Because the thing is, you can take a loan at the bank and open up a little shop. That's fine. That's great. The difference is between an entrepreneur and a franchisor is that the entrepreneur built everything from the ground up. No banks, no nothing. Just pure hustling all the time. Selling t-shirts, doing cookouts, selling little food treats and all kinds of little things like that, making events, building events, doing all kinds of shit, getting their fingers into the ground, ground zero. And a lot of people don't like that. A lot of people don't appreciate that. A lot of people feel jealous. A lot of people feel like you think that you're better than them. Well, guess what? Tell them this: I am better than you. Just tell them straight up. If you feel that I'm better than you, then that's what I am. Because you see, the thing is, I'm a spiritual and business consultant, right? So my business is connected with my spirituality, man. There's no difference between the one and the other. I've heard some people call and said that I was sleepwalking. I heard some people say that I'm in the Matrix. I heard some people say all kinds of nonsense that makes absolutely zero sense. Let me tell you something. Just like in the movie, when you're inside the Matrix, you're inside the Matrix. But just like in the movie, guess what? Real life is exactly like that movie, right? That means if you are taken out of the Matrix, there's no going back in. You can't go back in the Matrix, bro. You are outside the Matrix. So the guy that you're seeing right here, this is my avatar, bro. You know what I mean? So even spiritual people can't get jealous of people. Even spiritual people can be jealous of other people. And not that I'm saying that people that would call you a sleepwalker or stuck in the Matrix are spiritual, because they might not be. But there's a lot of people that feel that way. If you wake up one day and you say, man, I just attained enlightenment, but you know what? I still want to have a business. A lot of people is going to have a lot of trouble with that, man. You're gonna have knuckleheads be like, man, I thought you was real. You're gonna have gangsters acting like, man, I thought you was real. You're gonna have your family telling you, man, I thought you was real. That's because they don't know shit. Sorry, pardon my language, but it's true. It's because they don't know shit. When you're outside the Matrix, you can't lock back in. You are out of there forever. So you telling the truth, because you're a spiritual guy, so you always tell the truth. But tell yourself this: I'm not just only a spiritual guy, I'm a spiritual leader, right? So if you see me acting this way, that means there's something spiritual in it. What? There's spirituality in entrepreneurship? Yes, sir. That's what I said. So in essence, those middle class people that don't like the fact that you want to be a businessman, or those poor people that you used to hang around with that don't want to see you become a businessman, that don't want to see you become successful. Maybe you got the Illuminati after you, and the Illuminati is like, man, I don't like your face, so we ain't gonna open the doors. Who cares? Just keep hustling. If you're a hustler, hustle. Don't let those little petty people that think they have 228 IQ tell you how to dictate your life, tell you how to live your life. They don't know shit, right? Most of the people that live in Hollywood take an enormous amount of drugs. Enormous amounts of drugs. If you would spend one day with one of these guys, if you take drugs, right, and you think you're the king of drugs because your friends, you hang around with your friends, you take more drugs than your friends, go in Hollywood and go take some drugs with the guys in Hollywood, see what happens. You're gonna wake up in the middle of the desert, man, naked. That's how much drugs they do. So how can you be that high and tell me how to dictate my life? Come on. That's craziness. You lost your damn mind. So stop believing in everything you see. Stop believing in things that you see around you and all this fakery and nonsense. Most people don't hustle to have what they have. What they do is they conform. So when you conform, you don't have to deal with actual facts of reality. When you conform, you don't have to build things. You don't have to use your imagination. You don't have to do any problem solving. You don't have to manage. You don't have to do none of that stuff, man. Everything is already built for you, so just go there and do that. Boom. Job done. Like I said before, man, some people might think your doo-doo smells like roses. It does. It does smell like roses. You know, but that's what you have to do. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds ridiculous, man. And you don't wanna. You wanna be humble. You wanna be a good person. You wanna be. Just stop doing that. Don't be a good person. Stop being a good person. If people hate you, if they hate your guts, good. That means you're doing something right. If they hate your guts, you're doing something right. If they like you, you're doing something wrong. You're being a simp. You're being a doormat. You're being abused. You're being used. So don't be used. Don't be abused, and stop being nice. People don't like how you act, and people don't like what you do. So what? At the end of the day, I'm gonna be the boss of this planet. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be the boss of this neighborhood. At the end of the day, I'm gonna have 2-3 buildings. At the end of the day, I'm gonna be Donald Trump. So who cares? People don't like how you act. Well, too bad. It's the cost of doing business. It's the cost of doing business, man. You can't live without it. You can't live with it, man. It just is. So the problem today with most people is conformity. The problem today with most people is conformity. Everybody wants to conform because everything is easier. Everything is already placed. I don't need to think about how I'm gonna pay for my house because I can just go work at Walmart. I don't have to think about how I'm gonna put some gas and buy a car because I can just take out a loan or lease it. All I have to do is conform. All I have to do is be part of the matrix, get a lease, sign my name on the dotted line, buy myself a car, put some gas in it, and get my ass back, go get my ass to work with my identity card, another paper that you signed with your name on it, so I can walk into the building, so I can sit in a cubicle for 12 or 18 hours, depending on if you do overtime or whatever, and then get outside and come back home. Conformity. Now, there wouldn't be a problem with conformity if the people that was conformists actually respected other people. But the thing is, nowadays, the conformists think they run the country, but they don't run anything at all. They barely run themselves. So don't look at me and tell me that because I'm a spiritual person and I'm talking about business and how I value people and how I value men, that I'm sleepwalking or something like that. Bro, you're the one that's sleepwalking, man. You believe in everything you see. Everything you see with your eyes, you believe it. Bro, this is 2021. This is the 21st century. Shit changed. You know what I mean, bro? Shit has changed. And the worst part is there's a lot of people supposedly in high power seats that aren't even doing their jobs right now, bro. They're just, they're winging it. They're straight up winging it, man. They don't even know what the heck is going on. They're winging it. So, things are crazy right now, bro. So what I would tell you as a spiritual person, what I would tell you is get your mind right and become an entrepreneur. Get your mind right and become an entrepreneur. And what the heck does all that has to do with loneliness? Everything. It has everything to do with loneliness, man. Because all those things that I just named you are all things that are come at you once you become an entrepreneur, bro. You're gonna have conformists against you. You're gonna have sects, bro. You get sects, whatever, cultists, right? You're gonna have cultists against you, conformists against you. Your neighbors are gonna be against you. Men, women, and child are gonna be against you, bro. But you know what? Who cares? Because all that shit is just petty stuff, bro. It's all petty stuff, man. It's just because they chose a different path and they expect you to take the same path for some reason. I don't know why, but whatever. But they want you to take the same path that they did. Why? There's no reason. Don't even listen. There is no reason. There's no reason. The only reason that exists is jealousy. That's the only reason that exists. The only reason why anybody would want you to take that kind of path is by pure jealousy. Because everybody that's a billionaire made their own money. They didn't make it. They didn't become a billionaire by. They didn't become a billionaire by working. They became billionaires by being entrepreneurs. What's the biggest? What is one of the biggest industries in the world? Oil. One of the biggest industries in the world is oil. It's not the government that pays for oil. The government buys oil. You know how oil is found? Is somebody hustled to get a couple of machines, dig a hole in the ground, and wha-bam, he's rich. It's an entrepreneur. You need an entrepreneur to get oil. If there's no entrepreneurs to go get oil, guess what? There's no gasoline for your car. So you can't go to work without an entrepreneur. It is what it is. Everybody thinks the government pays for everything. The government builds everything. The government pays for everything, but they don't build everything. It's up to you. It's up to you to build it, and then the government might buy it. But if you don't build it, you know what I mean, bro? It's not the government. The government doesn't do anything. The government just spreads things around. That's what the government does. The government spreads various things around. That's what they do. That's what the government does. So if you go to Dubai and all those guys are super rich, all them super rich dudes that got rich off of oil, they did that shit themselves. They didn't make it by being conformists. They made it how? By not listening to what people say. They made it how? By doing what they want to do. That's how they made it. Super billionaires. Right? And everybody else that's a millionaire or billionaire, that's how they made it. By hustling. By being a franchisor. By being an entrepreneur. By being a stock market, a specialist. All these things are all things that you got to do by yourself. And all these things are all things that people are going to try to swerve you the other way to not do, when they know for a fact that that's the only way to become super successful. Because everybody know it. They might act like they don't know it, but that's, like I said, it's just jealousy. So don't be afraid to be alone. If you're an entrepreneur, that's what you got to do. And to be quite honest, there is no loneliness, man. Because when you see how people react and you tell yourself, man, that's who I was chilling with, you ain't gonna feel lonely very long, I'm gonna tell you what. Because you don't even want to hang around people like that. You don't even want people like that around you. You don't even want them around you. Like, I'm very intolerant right now, son. I'm very intolerant right now, bro. There's a lot of people I don't want to hang around with. I don't want people like that around me, man. I want other business people around me. I want high value people around me. I want people that are go-getters around me, right? I want people that know how to do things, you know what I mean? And that's not gonna ask for money to do it. They just want to do it. They'll get some money at some point, of course, but you know, networking. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? Because you gotta work for free. You gotta work for free. I'm sorry, man, but you gotta work for free, bro. Everybody works for. I work for free. A lot of people work for free, man. That's the only way to do it. Because if you're always waiting for a paycheck, anybody, oh, yo, you got to check, you got to check, you got to check, you got to check, you ain't never going to get nothing. I ain't got money to give you, man. You know, I ain't got no money to give you, son. But let's go put in some work. And we're going to get that money. I'll guarantee you that, y'all. You're going to get more money than you ever seen in your damn life. That most people ever seen in their life. But if you want to do that, you got to work for free. You can't be asking for checks all the time. If you're asking for checks, go work at McDonald's. They're giving out checks every week, every 2 weeks or every week. It is what it is. So, that's my 2 cents. My name is Seth, spiritual and business consultant, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a good one and peace out.